Hey everybody, this is Derek, aka No One. Thank you for stopping by my channel and clicking on the video. And as you can see, I'm going to do a warning documentary by a channel called TIDAL. This documentary was uploaded 3 years ago. It has 202,000 views, 7.8 thousand likes. And I figured that this would be something cool to put up as I'm working on doing the full album to the Queen of the Murder Scene. Is that what it's called? Where the Dust to Dust and the Dull Knives is from. So I'm really excited to do that, but I wanted to put something out for the warning, especially it's a Monday. So we need the warning on Monday, right? So let's go ahead and get into this documentary. Thank you everybody for clicking and for being here. And the reason why I'm like sitting back, I don't know if I said something in the last video where I have like some sharp pains in here, and every time I put the MacBook on the windowsill and I sit up on my mattress, I can feel the pain more. So to just kind of like lay back a little bit, it's not the most complimentary to me, but but it relieves the pain a little bit. So I'm going to put my headphones on. Let me just make sure everything is okay. The sound. Oh, see, it was. Oh, you know what? Because this isn't. It's not turned on. Hold on. There we go. Now it's connected. And by the way, it just showed that this is 40%, and I got to charge this up. All right. So I know you guys said not to minimize the box so much so that you can see my reaction. So hopefully that's a good size. So let's full screen this. Again, make sure that the volume and the lights are up. And I fixed that situation where if you listen back to the video on the headphones, I guess you were only hearing me on the left hand side. So that should be fixed. And let's go. All right. This is the warning: the Mexican rock stars who happen to be sisters. Tidal Rising documentary. Let's go.
We obviously started playing here in Mexico, where Mexicans were from Mexico. So our first shows were always here in our home and then just across the country. And I feel like we've seen it grow over the years and how we started and just our crowd. And it makes me so excited that people my age are looking for this energy and like this music specifically. There aren't a lot of female-led rock bands, only woman rock bands. So she started working as a young teen, a kid. Mm-hmm. We didn't even start out as women. Like we started out as little girls in this industry. Children, literally. It involves a lot, and we were doing it with our parents. Like we were pretty protected. Like they supported us so much. They got us into lessons. Like they bought us our instruments. Like they give us the liberty to like really concentrate on music.
Because imagine you're like just a teenager, maybe 13, and you want to do this, but of course there's tons of different things that you want to try out and do. So like sticking with it was also hard, you know.
Band started out as a 5-member band. Our parents were part of the band. Right now, obviously, our family has grown a bit more, like with our team, our management, and everyone that works with us. But as we keep on working, that is always like the center of everything, and everyone we start working with starts feeling like family because we've always had that vibe.
Yeah, and that's also part of the Latino culture. Families, huge families, they're always together and always very supportive. So that's cool to see. Now, is that Pao and Danny, because I would imagine that Ale would be really young at this point, if that's those two.
I feel like we've learned how to be like disciplined and responsible and like level-headed.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's really important for the industry that we're in. So a big hug to mom and dad for everything.
What we think really got us into this energetic music and rock and roll was definitely the Rock Band, the video game. We loved to play that game, and it was so fun that we just like looked at the screen and we just, oh, we want to do that. I told my dad, like, I want to play the guitar. He's like, are you sure? And I was like, of course. By the first week, my fingers hurt so much that I was like, please, no. But I fell in love with it, and there was no going back.
I've been playing for 13 years. I don't like that number, but okay, 13 years. And well, I've been playing since I was a little kid. I would always play on the drums, like the toy drums. And I remember I really liked hitting things.
Wow.
So it was like a perfect match for me. And my dad saw that I have really good coordination. And he asked me like, hey, like, are you up for lessons? Like, do you want to give it a shot? And I was like, yeah. Nobody wanted to give me lessons.
What?
I looked like a toddler.
I mean,
and
you
like
were
I was
6, you were
super
like,
short.
whatever.
Like playing the drums, it didn't look very.
Yeah, but who gives a crap if you're paying an instructor? You do the job and you instruct. What's the matter with these people?
Want to give it a shot? And I was like, yeah. Nobody wanted to give me lessons. I looked like a toddler.
I mean,
and
you
like
were
I was
6, you were
super
like,
short.
whatever.
Like playing the drums, it didn't look very promising for me. But I met one teacher and I had like a test class, and the teacher was like, "Oh, leave her with me. Like she'll be good. Like let's do this."
My parents bought me my first bass, and of course I was really young and really short, and I couldn't
Ale.
play a full-scale bass, so they bought me a smaller bass, which I have right
actually
here.
right there.
Yeah. It's really small, and I still couldn't play that, and I learned for about a month, and then we started playing together immediately. So I
Yeah.
didn't really have like that much time to get used to my instrument before we started playing together.
Okay, wait,
But-
I know that this isn't part of it. I'm going to ask you a
Do it,
question.
do it.
Because it's like,
Do
Because
it.
I know, this isn't my place, but I will. Because there's a lot of people who tell you, like, why don't you play with a pick? Because normally
Oh,
rock
that's
music
true.
is just like,
It's like
but
pick.
you, like, from the start, it
I
was
always
like,
play with my
finger
fingers.
style.
I know how to play with a pick now, and I really do like the
Like
sound
both.
of it. But I don't know, I just always played with my fingers, and I do feel more comfortable with my fingers, even though I do play more on time with a pick. It's weird. It
Yeah, because I play a little bass as well, and I usually use a pick. I know, like traditionally, a lot of old bassists used to play with just their fingers. But when you're playing rock music and you use a pick, there's a different sound that comes out of the bass guitar with using a pick. Like Nightwish's bassist Marco Hietala, he always uses a pick. Even back in the day, the Go-Go's bassist Kathy Valentine, who is very underrated, but if you listen to some of their like non-hits and you hear her bass lines, those are all done with a pick, and they're incredible bass lines. But yeah, there's loads of professional bassists that will use a pick. So, but it's really cool that she's able to do both. So that's cool.
I really do like the
Like
sound
both.
of it. But I don't know, I just always played with my fingers, and I do feel more comfortable with my fingers, even though I do play more on time with a pick. It's weird. It does hurt more though, but
I get it. It's like when I play without shoes and when I play with
Yeah,
shoes.
yeah,
I get it. turning point in our careers. Like we did our Enter Sandman cover, which went viral. But I feel like the point where we were like, we really want to do this, like for the rest of our lives, was when we started writing our own music and releasing our own stuff. That was like, whoa, like we can create something, put it out in the world, and people react to it. It was just something that we really, really liked and looked forward to. So now that we're doing what we do today, like I just feel like it's the thing that really keeps us going, our music.
So the Queen of the Murder Scene, that's their second original studio album, correct? So after I do that, I do want to go back and listen to their first.
Today, like I just feel like it's the thing that really keeps us going, our music.
Five-string bass.
Of course, like any type of siblings, like we have our disagreements and our little fights and stuff like that, but we get along really well.
We know each other so well that we know how to make it work.
Exactly. And in the second that we start writing music, everything just flows really nicely. Like I don't know what to call it except like sibling magic.
Really nice harmonies there. And it just, Danny's guitar sound is so, especially with Ale's bass behind it, it's very, very thick. It's like very full sounding. I guess that's what I meant to say, for a three-piece band, that only has like one guitar, bass, and drums. I know we talked about this in another reaction, but it's... they have an amazing sound for three musicians, You shall remain inside your
space. Escape the Mind. Those were our first compositions ever. That was our first time writing. I was like 12, Danny was 14, and I was 9. We were children. But it was the moment where we really fell in love with music and like what we wanted to do. Like creating something was just such a powerful experience.
And it was such a key thing, I think, personally, that we were not thinking about will people like it, because we were not going to release it. We were not even going to record it. It was not going to be a thing. So we just literally wrote from our 14-year-old hearts.
And I'll walk onto the very top and I'll ride, even though I stumble
and then we jump into our first album, 21st Century Blood. And it was weird because some of the compositions that are in 21st Century Blood were written in the same time as Escape the Mind. But there was this very big leap we gave with this song that we made called Free Falling.
It was the first song we actually wrote together.
Yeah. And
Nice.
It was also a big thing that we started like looking for outside inspiration. We really like what's happening in the world that we can write about.
And more than anything, like we read so much and we consume a lot of media, as any Gen Z teen does. So we were constantly getting inspired by other
Different
stories
scenarios.
that we were hearing. So 21st Century Blood was like, we felt like it was our first step. Like, okay, we're a band now. This is our album.
and nothing will change. I'm crashing through space. I'm burning up, and there's nothing I can put out of space.
And one thing that I really like that we do, we really looked for what the song needed. We were like, okay, so what if this is a song with only piano, violins, and stuff like that? Like, we didn't focus on, oh, we have to be rock. We just focused on the energy that went into the song. So If you hear our music, sometimes it will be very varied within the same album.
But then Queen of the Murder Scene comes. It's our second album, and Queen of the Murder Scene. I was in middle school. I started going through my emo phase, so you can hear clearly there how that shift and like I'm angsty now.
You don't really wanna feel like me.
These songs and these albums like grew with us. It's
Yeah.
literally, you can see like the change
Yeah,
in
you can feel the
as we
age.
personality.
Yeah,
Our
and
music.
Queen of the
Yeah.
Murder Scene is a concept album. It tells a story.
A novel.
And yeah, it was like a novel, and it was a really different process writing songs to fit a narrative and a
It was
plot.
really hard.
It was
actually.
hard because we had some, and then we had to add like the filler episodes, but we didn't want them to feel like filler
Filler
songs.
songs.
So we really had to
Right.
put meaning into every single little part.
I'm really excited to get into that album.
But I was like really into this idea of making it a whole album about this story.
Yeah.
And when I told them about it, they were like, "What?
Why is there blood everywhere?
Why?" I was like, "Please hear me out."
We had to change
so much.
like
Of
a
the
lot of the
story.
storyline because it wasn't
It
even
wasn't
that
like
much
that.
of a storyline. It was
Yeah,
just,
it was just like
murder.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
You were getting into
I was getting into K-pop.
That's true.
I just
So,
remember that too.
we took the emo face K-pop like
Route.
express line, right?
Yeah.
So you can hear a lot of influences in there that maybe you don't pinpoint them as such, but for us it's really apparent like which phases we were going
That key
through.
change into the
Those
one.
key
Like,
changes, those harmonies, like it was all very K-poppy for us.
it's a thing that we also love to do. That as we start learning new ways of doing this, we just like, okay, what's the next thing that we can try out with our music?
Yeah.
So
And
It's
in,
very fun.
in Queen of the Murder Scene, it was key changes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was
Oh.
definitely.
change the key.
That was a theme.
Coming from Queen of the Murder Scene, things are really different now. Because I feel like we really grew as people,
Even
as musicians.
like
Right,
from
'cause
those two.
We're going through our teenage years. Of course, you grow a lot from one year to another, and you start living different experiences and stuff like that. So I feel like this third album is personal.
Yeah.
Like it talks more about our feelings or situations that are close to us, or our opinions on certain situations.
Nice.
Evolve was one of the songs that we started writing together, and we had music first
Yeah.
before lyrics and melody. It's usually the other way around. So the three of us were in this room,
Yes,
and Danny
right
and
there.
I were like playing, like getting the riff, and I was like, let me write a melody really quickly for the verse and just like put some lyrics on there. And I was like, hey, that's a
Let's
good
go ahead.
line.
That's a cool
I'm not in
line.
danger, I'm the danger.
I do feel that it encases what this new album represents for us, the changes that we went through as musicians, as people, and in writing, because we saw things differently. Like right now, we really concentrated on adding a lot of like new harmonies and how like the bass and the drums were going to play together.
Together.
And then differently at the same time.
Yeah.
Like there is so much room to grow, and we always enter these situations like with big wondrous eyes. Like we're gonna learn today. What are we gonna learn now?
What's gonna happen
Yeah.
now?
That's such a great attitude to have, which is why they're so successful.
Guys, like, we're gonna learn today. What are we gonna learn now?
What's gonna happen
Yeah.
now?
You right, this is you. Okay, everybody.
Oye, ¿cómo va? Mi ritmo bueno para gozar. Mulata, oye, ¿cómo va? Mi ritmo bueno para gozar. Mulata, pam, 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 pam.
Definitely performing our songs live is a totally different universe. Like, we treat it as such, even ourselves. We know it's nothing like recording in a
Right.
studio, but it's so much fun. You're like directly sharing and expressing to the people who are watching you.
And I feel like our past albums, we try to grab like the sound, like how we sound live into our recordings, and
Yeah.
we never really,
Oh, we have never accomplished
we
that.
never accomplished that until like
this
This third album.
third album.
Oh,
I've already collapsed, so I'll just drown my sorrows in a non-existent world.
We put in a lot of hard work
Yep.
into our live
Yes,
shows.
we do.
And we really plan everything out, and
Yep.
we practice it a lot.
And even
A lot.
our movements, like if you see us playing in our early stages of the band,
Oh,
we're
we
just
didn't
like
move at all.
statues.
Didn't move.
And that's something that we actually worked on consciously. It's like
Yeah.
how to play, being able to like jump around and bring more energy to the show.
Like, we
Like-
make fun of each other while we're on stage.
And I know like I should have
yeah, because it's true. Because when you're starting out, you know, you're focusing on playing it right, and you're not focusing so much on, you know, even like if I'm playing in my room, you know, I'm just. I think even the little warning acoustic thing that I posted up the other day. It was funny because I was watching myself back, and I'm like, oh my god, my face. It looks like I'm constipated or something. Like because I was getting used to like the different chord progression of it, and before I actually recorded that little short, it was tripping me up a little bit. You know, it was the same chords, but the progression would change like 2 or 3 different times in the one song, and it was just getting used to the progression and in which orders that the progression would change. So it was funny. I was just kind of like, oh my god, look at my face. I look like I'm constipated. So it is something that you have to be cognizant of, and they're talking about like being on stage and being able to, you know, but they were young, so of course, you know, they were learning their instruments and learning how to perform. So you know, of course there were going to be like statues, you know, but they had to learn how to become performers and how to become entertainers, and you know, transition into like next level.
And bring more energy to the show.
Like, we
Like-
make fun of each other while we're on stage.
And I know like I shouldn't really be like saying this, but even when we mess up, we're like, oh, you messed up. Like,
Yeah,
we laugh
we just-
about
we
it.
just
We're
look at each other like,
you messed up.
When we play a show in our country and in our home city, it's just absolutely amazing.
Actually, our last show that we played was in Mexico City, and we hadn't been to Mexico City in a long time.
Yeah.
So coming back and seeing that we had more fans, like there were a lot of people watching us. It was just insane. It was one of the
so
best
cool.
shows
People
we've ever
like
had.
screaming our songs. We actually have like a video where you hear everyone singing on top of like it's
Yeah, like you can't, hear
hear
us. Mexico really has something very
a
special.
big scene
Like-
of energetic people
Yeah.
ready
people are
for
really
metal.
passionate about
Yeah.
music in general here in Mexico, and the crowds were always really energetic.
Like this energy that they transmit, you just can't help but give it back. it's really about making like a personal connection of what you want to transmit through your instrument. Cause I look at our past videos, like our covers, and I'm like, no, what are you doing? But we were so young, we were starting out, so it's okay. But I feel like that's a really nice thing. Looking back and seeing how much you've improved, how much you've grown.
A veces las cosas obvias son las más difíciles de ver. Te asfixiaste con tus propias manos. Cuando todo apunta que por fin alguien te viene a rescatar, te encuentras nuevamente abandonado.
At the end of the day, like, there's a goal and there's something that you want to reach. And it's really about putting in a lot of work.
And just also be very conscious that the people who work around you are different, are going through different things and will think differently than you. There's no one that will think exactly like you. So taking things with a grain of salt and not taking things personal for it to ruin like your experience is a key thing. As sisters, we really have like that separate, our working selves and our sister selves.
Sometimes people have these stereotypes or these stigmas, like we've seen it in places we've played in festivals and stuff like that. Like the treatment is really different to like other bands, like male bands. But we see that change after like
we play.
Yeah, we play and then like people's faces completely change and like everyone's just so excited.
Which is fun to see because they remind themselves that it doesn't matter who is playing, their age, whatever it is. It's about the music.
Music is the language. It doesn't matter like where you're from, like what language you speak, like anything. Like music is the language.
That looks like a cool video, so I want to watch that. All right, hey, this made me more excited to really get into the Queen of the Murder Scene. So this was a great video documentary made by TIDAL. So let me click like on there, and the link to the original video will be in the description, as well as all the socials and the links for the warning so that you can go support the artist. That's the most important. If you like this reaction, I hope that you like my video, and if you like my content, I hope that you subscribe. My goal now that I've reached 2,000 is to get to the 5,000 mark. I don't know when that'll happen, but it's a goal to go forward with. And links to paid requests will be in the in the pinned comments. All PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, and Buy Me a Coffee and Patreon requests go to the top of the list, and they will get reacted to immediately. And yeah, I think that's about it. So anyways, thank you everybody for checking this out, and I hope that this was a nice start to your Monday and to your week. And then I'm going to start working on the Queen of the Murder Scene album, because I'm excited to like really do that. Now, whether I do it in 2 parts or 3 parts, I'm not quite sure, because before I do each song, I do want to read the information from the Google Doc and maybe incorporate some of those videos that somebody said that they also, did they have like a little video made for each song, like a little short or something like that explains it? I'm gonna have to go on their channel and check it out. So I'll decide like how I want to do it, and also read everybody's suggestions. So Anyways, thank you everybody for clicking and watching and clicking like and subscribing and all of that stuff. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you so much. So have a good one.